Fake news stories on social media appear to have played a role in last fall's presidential race. Well, how can we combat this growing phenomenon and recognize it when we see it? That's some of what we talked about with Professor Robin Saunders, Director of Graduate Programs in Communication and Information Management at Bay Path University.
The reality is, people think this is new, but think back to the days when we used to walk into the supermarket and we would look for Time magazine, and then next to it was a magazine that said, "Women gives birth to alien baby." And we were astounded, but somehow we knew that that probably wasn't real. Then email was developed, and all of a sudden there were these email scams that we could never have predicted, because when technology begins, we sometimes don't know where the pitfalls are going to be or what we can trust. So we got over the email scams. Now we have social media, and you have Facebook that has approximately 8 billion views per day. 8 billion, that's huge. So you have these fake news stories, these people that now want to profit from that arena. And what it is really is a money-making venture. That's why people get into this. Most of the people that are compiling fake news feeds really don't care about the content, unfortunately, obviously, but they do care about the money. They want to make sure that their news feed goes viral, because when it goes viral, they make money for every click that people do on the advertisements that are within their own web pages.
You are at Bay Path to oversee programs in the emerging technologies.
Correct.
Cyber security. And I know people tell me that you got to think of it as converging technology. Cybersecurity management, communications, information management, applied data science. That's the area you're saying to people, this is important. You're going to need employees in this, and students, there are going to be jobs in this area.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing about converging technologies. Converging technologies are technologies that, in a world of technological advances, and just think about how quickly information is being generated, how much information is being generated for the public, are trying to manage a different set of strategies. Some of our programs at Bay Path, like data analytics, look at the amount of data that's being generated and how you can get the best information and useful information in business from that particular data, and making sure that that data is authentic. You have people in cybersecurity that are really overseeing all of the aspects of data analytics, of even communication strategies, of IT, in trying to assure that people are not being hoaxed, that people are not being phished. We all know those terms. That businesses don't become corrupted with malware. And you have other people in other areas that are all really looking at this technology and saying, how can I make this safe? How can I create the best technological world for my business? And that's what we're doing at Bay Path.
You've used the term, I'm told, authenticity litmus test. When you're dealing with whether someone's asking you for information, you're giving it, or you're taking something in. Figure out how you can tell if it's, what can we do? What can we look at? What do we depend on? I
think the first thing I tell people is to realize that you can be misled. I tell my daughters, if it looks like a duck and smells like a duck, it's probably a duck. If that ad says you can become a millionaire in a day, well, it probably would be on the front page of an authentic source like the New York Times. So look at the URL. Look at that little bar on the top of the page that says abc.com. And if it says abc.com.co.la has other letters in there, then it's probably not authentic. Look at about the author. Check to see if it gives you information about the author of that newsfeed, because if it doesn't, there's probably no good author there. Check to see if it has quotations in it. Most fake news feeds don't have quotations at all in them. Or if there is a quotation, source it to see if you know where it's come from. And thirdly, just use your head. If you don't think it's real, it's probably not real.
An awful lot of this is made to look very real, very true. It seems to have influenced people at times, certainly in personal decisions, and perhaps in the recent election. It's protected by the First Amendment. What can we do beyond buyer beware?
Well, unfortunately, Facebook and Google are both finding out there's not a lot that you can do, because some of these fake websites contain both real content and web content. And remember that it's the advertisements that make the money for these fake news feeds. Each fake news page can have, just for example, a Google AdSense account. And a Google AdSense account is something that's free. Anybody can create a blog. They can go out and see what's trending. They can use Google Analytics, which is a free program, to see what's trending. They can then they can go to a regular news page of that trending material and actually copy that entire headline. They can copy that whole picture, bring it into their own web page, and then Photoshop begins. They can pepper it with racy comments. They can change the picture a little bit, but it still looks like what's authentic. At that point, they go to Google AdSense and they say, look, I'm going to place 3 of your Google ads on my web page. And what Google does is Google wants people to put advertisements on their website page. So they place what's called the code, which is the information behind the actual picture. And when people come to that web page, when they click on that heading that says, alien baby born by human grandmother, or whatever it happens to be, that person will make money with every click. Now, what's happening with Google is that they're trying to eliminate these ads being placed on these web pages. The problem is you can't identify them in many cases. And even people like Fiat and Chrysler, who say specifically in their advertising that their ads can't be placed on sites that have profane language, adult content, hate speech, they don't say anything about lies and telling the truth. And it's very, very difficult to unravel this. So you as a consumer need to use your head. As I said before, if it walks like a duck and looks like a duck and smells like a duck, it probably is.
Well, Professor Robin Saunders, Bay Path University, thanks so much for giving us a lot of new knowledge, a lot of important information about something we all better know about these days. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.